In this tutorial, we will show you how to use the Overlay Blur tool. You can use Overlay Blur when you need to hide information like a name or login from your video. To get started, go to the spot on the timeline where you want your Overlay Blur to appear. Click Tools, select Overlay, and then the Blur option, or you can press the O key and then the B key. Drag and resize the blur. You can also fine-tune the position by holding down the Control key on Windows or Command key on Mac, then using the arrow keys to nudge the arrow around the video. You can control the opacity of the blur using this slider. By default, the overlay won't have a transition. You can choose to have the blur fade in and out by clicking these buttons. You can choose the section of the video your overlay appears by dragging these bars over the timeline to select the start or end point. You can also jump to the start point by clicking the S key, or jump to the end by clicking the E key. You can also animate the blur so it changes over time, which is useful if you are trying to blur text that is moving on the screen. We cover animation in another tutorial. To preview the overlay, you can do so by clicking the Preview button here. It will preview right before the overlay starts and plays through to the end when it is done. And once you're ready, press the OK button or the Enter key. After the blur is added to your video, a colored span will show on your timeline indicating the placement of the outline. You can edit the overlay by clicking on this spot on the timeline. Click this icon, and you will be brought back to the overlay controls, or you can remove the overlay by clicking this icon. You can use the Undo or Edit History drop-down button to go back before you added the overlay. The last used tool will be listed next to the Tools button above the timeline, so you can easily use the same tool again by clicking here.